You didn't understand what I just said.
No.
Obviously, only the good stuff. Obviously, only the good stuff. Do you wish to sit on the left or the right? You may choose.
Stand just for a little bit.
Oh, we can stand. Listen, it's better for you. They're telling me, should we, okay, refresh something, hydrate a little bit.
I need a little bit of water if they're sitting there.
Obviously, for Greg, it's not very natural to stand in front of the people on a conference like this, so I really appreciate that you came over here.
Well, I've done a few things in my life, this is certainly different for me, but I wanted to back up what the gentleman was saying, that when I first came here...
Let me stop you until you talk.
I had a gentleman stop me in the grocery store, and he said, "Thank you very much for coming, but it won't work."
Here you go.
I said, "Why?" He said, "It's a good idea, but the Slovaks won't do it. The players won't do it because the coaches won't do it. And you and Miro have these great ideas, but they're not going to work." I said, "Well, since I haven't even started yet, I might wait just a little bit to find out if they actually might work." And I truly found that to be the biggest selling point for me, was to get players to do things that they'd not done before and give them the encouragement to do it. And same with coaches, explain what I want, because I think it works at the world level, not just in Nitra or Košice.
Don't mention the cities.
Oh, don't mention them. Sorry, boys. But, you know, the kids obviously have bought into what we tried to sell. It takes a while. I think one of the first problems I started my first drill on the ice, and I talked for 5 minutes probably, and I finally realized there at least half of them had no idea what I said. Zero. And I said, "Holy boy." Yeah.
Full of respect, but practically silent.
Dead silent.
Dead silent.
So lucky I had Michael Henzus and Lubo Wisnowski who were able to translate. But what I said to them is, I need you to learn English, not for me, but for you. It's the world language, and if you want to play hockey, for instance, no matter where you go throughout Europe or to North America, it's English is the common language. It's English that people can use as the common denominator to speak. So there was a few little things that took a while to get going and surprised me at the time.
Yeah, but I think you just chosen the rough way. I remember when I was talking very often, I never shared that, I was very often talking to Miro Shatan, and I was asking, so how is the new coach? Everybody is titling you just coach. Everybody says they don't title him by his name. He's a coach. So he said, well, he's okay. He's doing very fine. And he practically asked me to be able to find the fastest skaters.
Yeah.
And I said, what? Yes, this is what he said. Don't give me all these stars and everybody, these very strong individual players. Just point on players who are skating fast.
That's right.
Is that correct?
That is correct.
So that was the demand. And what happened next?
Well, it started to work. We picked players who skated, and then we had to teach them where to go.
And what to do. Literally.
But you got to start somewhere. So this is where we tried to start. And I speak as if I'm half Slovak. I hope it's okay sometimes that I've been here. I came for 1 year, maybe 2, and this is number 7.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we go. But what I asked is that we want to establish a style of hockey that is the Slovak style, that all of our teams will play this way. And there's been a lot of pushback against it.
Resilience, right? Resistance.
Yeah, resistance, yeah, from coaches, especially. The players love it when they come. I had one player last year, he came, I said, thanks for coming. It was just a tournament. He said, I'm so happy to get here where I get to play real hockey. And I thought, wow, this is a pretty good hockey player. But the point is, teams play this trap, clog up the neutral zone where we just chase. Get the fastest players and chase everybody around the ice. I want everybody to be afraid to play the Slovak national team. So when they put that sweater on, there's a style of hockey that's demanded, and you've got to do it. You have to follow the directions. It's different than how you play on your teams, but I'm asking you, I'm demanding from you that you listen closely and do the drills properly so in the game we can do it. Last week in Germany, we had 2 days to teach our players how to play a completely different system. And I was shocked at how fast these kids did it. I loved our speed. And it was amazing to see them say yes and to try it. And yeah, there was breakdowns, of course, but they tried. They really did try. And only 2 days, it's very difficult. But the kids are learning that if I'm going to go, I know how I have to play. And they have seen the success of Slavkovsky and Nemetz go number 1 and number 2 in the draft. And, we're making headway where NHL teams are sending scouts to watch our teams play. The struggles still go with some of the coaches who don't believe it and they want to do the old stuff.
Is there a lot of the ego being present among the coaches?
Absolutely. It's a problem. I think I'm...
because you have at least 1.5 million experts on hockey in this country, first of all.
I found out when we lost the first Olympics that when I got back there were 5 million experts that were not quite pleased with the result and couldn't wait to mention it to me as I walked the streets. I always stop and listen to get a picture, but they keep rambling on, and I try to tell them English, only English. And I apologize, I should know more. I took a year of lessons, and then this COVID, I was at home. It was the hardest language I ever attempted. It was brutal. Yeah, you agree? I mean, just...
what is the most difficult word for you?
Nastole, podstolom.
Oh, exactly. This is what my children telling me.
I said, this is, in English, it's
voda, vodu. For what? It's just water.
I asked for a kava. They said, no, kavu. I said, well, why? Because you wanted this kind, and it has to be different. The first thing I did learn was velké pivo, prosím.
Good one. That's a good start.
It worked well, yes.
Craig, may I ask you 2 more questions and we are over it, okay?
Oh, that's it? Come on.
Should we stay longer?
Sure.
Okay, now we got into the game. So my first question is that what do you notice? Is there stubbornness being present in the culture, or are we open and listening? Are we flexible in our minds, or are we not?
No. Ouch, sorry. One of the hardest things that I've noticed is that Slovaks in general are much harder on other Slovaks than they are on someone like myself. That if someone's having success, they can't wait to kick them in the butt. Say something, oh yeah, he scored 2 goals, but he should have had 3. You won, but not by much, I find that very difficult, and part of my job was to pick a coach to take over, and I wanted it to be a Slovak coach, but I've been thinking and thinking, and that's why I'm still here.
This year, it's taking you 7 years.
I mean, I love my
keep
coaches.
noticing all these journalists are keeping asking, like, okay, the followers are coming, who is going to be, and you just keep dropping names, and nothing stays. I mean, it's just they keep falling over.
But I love my coaches. I've had them with me a long time now. Pardavi, Andre, Petro, Frigo. Jan Lashik has been with me from day one. So I've had good coaches with me. We won that bronze medal in the game in Sweden, against Sweden. And we did beat the U.S. team, unfortunately, for you. All my kids are in U.S., but they were all cheering for Slovaks, wearing their sweaters and their shirts and hats. But that game against the U.S., actually, with the first 8 minutes was the fastest hockey I've ever seen in 50 years. They were flying, and we always say we can outskate anybody. But we scored a goal with the goalie out at the last, and 50 seconds left, and then one in the shootout. And then we played Sweden and won the bronze medal. But we flew back. Last team to leave, we flew back from Beijing, Doha, Vienna, bus over. We had lunch, and then they said, okay, a parade. A parade. I'm tired, I want to go home. I had the wrong jacket on. We had an open bus. I was frozen. They gave us a scarf to throw out to people. I didn't. I wrapped it around myself. But then we got to the city center. There's thousands of people. So what does hockey, what does sport do? That. People have fun with it.
People happy.
They watch it. They're devastated when you lose, but when you win, it touches so many people. And I remember that. I see it. I've remembered it because I've done it my whole life.
How many of you have cried for hockey at least once in your life? Here we go.
I've been to the top and won a Stanley Cup, but I have to say, walking out in Košice for that World Championship, we had to come out of the room up a few stairs, and the whole building was shaking, and the screaming and singing, and the fun was unbelievable. And truly, that's what sport can do for a country. We lost to Canada with 1.8 seconds to go, and I was completely devastated. I wanted to kill somebody. I did my press conference and smiled and was nice, and then the next day, Andrei Podkanitsky was driving me, and he said, what you have to understand is that we wouldn't have even tried to beat Canada before. I said, what are you talking about? I'm here. No, before that, we would have just tried not to lose bad. And that's the kind of attitude, mental attitude that we're changing, so that people believe that we can beat any country at any time, no matter what. And it goes far beyond sport. Those kids will carry it forward to other things. I believe, anyway. I'm not that smart, but I believe that.
They will. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah. We are very grateful. Let me tell you, I mean, they keep asking, like, how long you're going to stay? Did he accept the job for another year and another year? I know it's been a very long time, but I would like to tell you and to share with you that it's not the job that you are doing. You're literally creating a legacy in this country, and we appreciate it a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Back in.
You're taking riots with you?
I just want to say thank you. I hope when I say I'm half Slovak, you don't mind.
Come on.